Chelsea launch new pursuit for Enzo Fernandez. Chelsea have reportedly launched a new attack for Enzo Fernandez. The decision is now up to Benfica as to whether they sell the player. Chelsea renewed their interest in Enzo Fernandez last week, and they are now set to launch a new attack to try and sign the player in the final days of the January transfer window. Benfica have been clear in what they want in terms of the price range for Enzo, and they expect the club that are interested in signing him to pay his release clause of €120 million. Chelsea are set to ignore that and launch a new bid for the player worth €100 million. According to Cesar Luis Merlo, Chelsea are set to launch a new bid for Enzo Fernandez worth €100 million. Chelsea want a midfielder before the end of January and Fernandez is the main target. Negotiations fell apart weeks ago when Chelsea launched a bid Benfica felt insulted by, but they are now to try and repair the relationship with the Portuguese side and launch a €100 million bid. They are also expected to try and include a player in the deal for Enzo, but the player they are expected to offer has not been named as of yet. Hakim Ziyech could be one of the names. Benfica will have the final decision, and if Rui Costa does not see the deal acceptable, the player will not leave. Enzo will not force a move and is focusing on his football as things stand. No agreement yet, but Chelsea are hoping to find one in the final days of the window. Chelsea announced signing of Malo Gusto. Chelsea have announced the signing of Lyon defender Malo Gusto on a deal that will run until 2029. Chelsea have announced the signing of Lyon defender Malo Gusto on a deal that will see him at the club until 2029. The deal is finally done, and Gusto will be sent back on loan to Lyon until July. Lyon would not sanction the deal if it meant losing Gusto in January, so Chelsea had to compromise and allow the defender to be sent back to his club for the remainder of the season. Gusto is seen as the perfect player to provide competition to Reece James. Chelsea announced the deal on their website and socials earlier today. Gusto spoke of his excitement about joining the club and the project that was being built. Speaking about his move, Gusto had this to say: "I chose Chelsea because it's a very big club and I very like the big project. Very happy to be here. I also like the city." Fabrizio Romano reports that another English club approached Gusto, but he wanted to join Chelsea. The rumours are that club is Manchester United. Chelsea now have one of the best young right-backs in the world and arguably the overall best in the world in Reece James and Malo Gusto. Next season is an exciting time for the club. One more signing is expected at Chelsea in the coming hours and days before the window closes, and it is expected to be a midfielder brought into the club. Chelsea keeping an eye on Aleix Garcia. Chelsea are keeping a watchful eye on Girona midfielder Aleix Garcia as they look to sign one before the window closes. Chelsea are now reportedly monitoring Aleix Garcia from Girona as they look to sign a midfielder before deadline day. The club are speaking to numerous agents at the moment. Aleix Garcia is a 25-year-old midfielder and has been playing well for Girona in La Liga this season. He may not have been the first name on Chelsea's wish list, but it could be a really intelligent signing. Chelsea are yet to make a concrete move for any midfielder since having a bid rejected for Moses Caicedo last week. According to La Liga TV, Chelsea are monitoring Girona midfielder Aleix Garcia as they look to add to their midfield in January. Garcia played today for his team against Barcelona, and had a solid performance in the middle of the park, creating the most chances in the match. The former Manchester City man has been impressive this season and has now caught the attention of Chelsea. A midfielder is something the Blues feel is needed before the end of the window, and they are working internally to try and make that happen as it stands. Chelsea have not yet ruled out another move for Moses Caicedo, but they are looking at and are in contact with alternatives. Garcia could be one of those players, and if he is, it will become very clear in the next day or so before the window closes. Chelsea are expected to be active. Conor Gallagher could leave Chelsea this month. Conor Gallagher still has chances to leave Chelsea before the end of the month if the club sign another midfielder. Conor Gallagher could leave Chelsea this month, but the club would have to sign a midfielder before the end of the window. There is interest in Gallagher from inside the Premier League. The plan is for Chelsea to sign a midfielder before the window closes, and they are currently working internally on doing that. Contacts are ongoing with various agents as they look to sign the best solution. If they do find a solution, Conor Gallagher could be free to leave. According to Simon Phillips, Conor Gallagher could still leave Chelsea this month if the club can sign a midfielder before the deadline. The reports in Portugal are suggesting Chelsea are launching a late offensive for Enzo Fernandez, and if that was to happen, the chance of Conor Gallagher leaving would go up. Newcastle are one of the clubs with heavy interest in Gallagher, and Crystal Palace also have huge interest and would love to bring the player back to the club. In terms of guaranteed game time, Crystal Palace would be the more likely of the two clubs that Gallagher would choose to join. Newcastle's midfield may be a bit tougher for him to break into. All eyes are now on Chelsea and whether they can get a midfielder over the line before the window closes. Discussions are underway, and although nothing concrete has happened yet, it's expected to in the next day or two.